Okay, so let's get right into it. I want you to picture your body as this incredible fortress, and it is constantly being attacked by these microscopic invaders. Viruses, bacteria, the works. Now, most of the time, your defenses are amazing. They hold the line. But what happens when a totally new, completely unrecognized enemy shows up at the gates?
Right. So when that new bad guy actually breaches the walls, your internal defense system, your immune system, has a serious problem. It has absolutely no idea what it's up against. And because it's caught totally off guard, its response is, well, it's just painfully slow. We're talking days, sometimes weeks, for your internal army to even identify the invader, figure out its weak spots, and then start building the right weapons to fight back.
And all that time, during that critical learning phase, the invader is just running wild, multiplying and causing chaos inside your fortress. And that right there, that's the price you pay for this on-the-job training. You get sick. The infection is literally the cost of learning how to fight. So it makes you wonder, right? Is there a way we can give our immune system all the training it needs to defeat an enemy without having to pay that awful price of a full-blown sickness? Well, it turns out there is a brilliant way to do exactly that.
We can just run a training drill. And that's really all a vaccine is when you get down to it. It's a safe, totally controlled boot camp for your immune system.
So a vaccine introduces your body to a harmless part of the enemy. Scientists call this an antigen. The best way to think of it is like the enemy's uniform or maybe a unique logo on their helmet. It's the one key feature that your defense forces absolutely need to recognize. Now, there are a few different strategies to show your body that uniform. Vaccines use different kinds of recruits for this training mission. Some use a weakened but still live version of the virus. Others use a completely inactivated or, dead version. And the newer ones, like mRNA vaccines, are really clever. They don't use the enemy at all. They just slip yourselves a blueprint, kind of like a wanted poster, that teaches them what the enemy's uniform looks like.
But no matter which recruit we're talking about, the mission is always the same. Show that uniform to your immune system and get it to react. And this is where your body starts forging the specialized weapons and warriors it's going to need for a real battle. First on the scene are your weapons factories. And in the amazing world of your immune system, we call these B cells. Their entire purpose in life is to learn how to make the perfect weapon for a very specific bad guy.
And their mission is just fascinating. The moment a B cell recognizes that enemy uniform, the antigen, it completely transforms. It becomes this powerhouse called a plasma cell. And these plasma cells, well, they are now full-on factories, just churning out millions and millions of these tiny Y-shaped missiles called antibodies. And these things are incredibly specific. They're designed to lock onto that one particular antigen and nothing else, basically tagging the invaders for destruction.
But look, making weapons is only half the battle, right? You also need an elite ground team, the special forces of your immune system. And for that, we have your T cells.
T cells have two super critical jobs. You've got helper T cells, which are like the battlefield commanders. They coordinate the whole immune response, telling the B cells to ramp up antibody production. Then you have the killer T cells. They're the cleanup crew. Their job is to hunt down and destroy any of your own body's cells that have already been hijacked by the virus. They stop the enemy from turning your own fortress into a factory for more invaders.
So, if you ever feel a little crummy after a vaccine, maybe a bit of a fever, some aches, that's actually a great sign. It's your body telling you that the immune system's boot camp is in full swing. Your army is being built and the training is working perfectly.
But that initial training, that's just the start. After the drill is over and the training recruits are all gone, the most important part of the whole process is what's left behind. This is the real prize, a lifelong memory. So what's left are your veteran soldiers. We call them memory B cells and T cells. After the training exercise, most of the temporary army gets disbanded, but these veterans, they stick around. They quietly patrol your body for years, sometimes for your entire life, and they never ever forget what that enemy's uniform looks like. And that memory is what makes all the difference. I mean, think about it. The first exposure, the vaccine drill, it took weeks to build up a defense. But when the real thing shows up for the first time, those veteran memory cells kick into gear instantly. The response time drops from weeks down to a matter of hours. And the outcome? It's not sickness, it's immunity.
And here is the absolute genius of it all.
your body launches a counterattack that's so fast and so overwhelming that the virus gets completely wiped out before it ever has a chance to take hold. You defeat the enemy without ever really having to fight the war. That is what makes vaccines so incredible.
It's like you're giving your body a history book of bad guys it's already defeated, turning a potentially deadly threat into something your body just swats away without you even noticing. In the game of survival, a vaccine is basically the ultimate cheat code for the human body.